finding the areas of the composite figures by adding them together. Okay, so it says find the shaded area, round to the nearest tenth. Yeah, everything is the shaded area here. Sometimes you will have part of it that's not shaded, but everything is shaded here. So I'm going to give you a few seconds, and I want you to start thinking about what shapes make up this composite figure. And what does composite mean? What does composite mean? If you composite things, right? No? Like if one of you were going to be absent, I would composite your work together for you.
Put it together.
It's something that you put together, right? Or combine. So these are two different shapes put together. Jacqueline, what's one shape you noticed was in this? Circle. A circle. So the top is 1/2 of a circle. Yep, we'll talk about it. Okay, and then Sierra, what about this shape on the bottom? What's this?
Rhombus?
No? Is that what Avery whispered to you?
No, he's whispering triangle.
Oh, Avery, come on now. Yes, this is trapezoid. It's not a rhombus because remember the rhombus is going to be all four sides are equal. Okay, so this is going to be a trapezoid. Okay, and then so the first thing that we're going to do is find the area of the half circle. So remember that the area of a circle is going to be pi r squared. So if you're trying to find the area of half of that circle, you can just multiply by 1/2, or you can just divide by 2. Okay, and then Ethan, what's going to be the radius of that circle? 10. And that's because we can see the diameter is 20 millimeters, which means the radius is going to be half of that. Okay, so to find the area, we're going to do pi 10 squared divided by 2. Okay, 10 squared is what? 100. So this is like 100 pi divided by 2, which is going to reduce to 50 pi. So do the 100 divided by 2. Okay, now this is part of the area, not the total area. We're going to have to add those together. Okay, and then the next thing we're going to do is find the area of the trapezoid. So we have to remember our formula. The area of a trapezoid is 1/2 times base 1 plus base 2 times the height. Okay, so let's make sure we have all of those things. Okay, so we have base 2. Do we have base 1?
Yeah.
Yep, it's going to be the same as what? Diameter. Yep, good. Okay, and then the height is what? 14. Okay, so let's go ahead and calculate that. So we have 1/2, 20 plus 32 times 14. Okay, and then so you could do half of 52 first or half of 14 first. What is half of 52? 26. So it's 26 times 14, okay, which is going to be 364. Okay, and last step is going to be to add them together. So this is going to be your total area. Okay, so the total area is going to be 50 pi plus 364. If the directions said to leave it in terms of pi, that's what we do. Since it says to round to the nearest tenth, we are going to calculate that. And we have to use our pi button. All right, so let's go over how we're going to do that. So this is going to be 50, and then here's my pi button. Find yours. Okay, and sometimes I'll just do that first so I can kind of estimate. I know this is a little more than 3, so it has to be more than 150, so I know I did that right. And then I'm going to add 364. The directions say to round to the nearest tenth. So this will be 521 point. If it's 0.7, the 7 rounds the 0 up to a 1. And then I'm going to put my units, and then because it's the area, I'm going to square them. Okay, so this will be millimeters squared. Okay, now I'm going to show you another way that you can think about how you're finding the trapezoid. And Logan, I think this is what you were thinking. What were you saying that you could do instead of doing the trapezoid formula? Right, so you could do the area of the rectangle plus the triangle that makes up the trapezoid, right? Okay, because the rectangle is going to be 20, 20, and this is 14. So to find the area of the rectangle, all you'd have to do is what? 14 times 20, yep, which would be 280. And then to do the area of the triangle, that's 1/2 times base times height. Guys, other people should not be talking. Okay, so this is going to be 1/2 times your base, which, what is your base going to be? If this whole thing is 32, what's the base of your triangle? Yeah, what is it? 12. And then this is 14. Okay, so it's 1/2 times 12 times 14, which is 84. Oops. And then, so your total area is going to equal 364. So you just add them together. Okay, so you add 280 and 84. Right, so you could do that either way. All right, for B, we are going to shade in this parallelogram here. Okay, or if you guys want to outline it, sorry, I know my shading doesn't show up so well. And the whole shape is shaded, but we're just going to break it up into two things. Right, so I know that's hard to see on yours. Okay, so the whole entire thing is shaded. We're finding the area of the whole thing, but then we're going to break this up into a parallelogram and a triangle. Okay, so if you want to find the area of this composite figure, try to break it up into shapes that you know how to find the area of. So the first thing we can do is find the area of the parallelogram. Which is base times height. And what is your base going to be? Yep. And then the height for it is going to be 5. So then your area is going to be 40 for the parallelogram. Okay, and then we're also going to find the area for the triangle. Okay, so the area is 1/2 times base times height. Okay, and Aiden, what's the base of our triangle?
Of the blue one?
Uh-huh.
10 feet.
Yep, and what's the height?
5 feet.
5 feet. So I'm going to do 1/2 times 10 times 5. And 10 times 5 is what? 50. So half of that is 25. So then to find the total area, I'm going to add those together, but then I need to make sure I put my units on there. Okay, so Logan, what are my units going to be for this one? And it's area, so it'll be good. Okay, now let's go to the back where we are still finding areas of the shaded region, but now we're going to have some cutouts. So for part A, the shaded region is all right here. All right, so what two shapes do we see in this one figure? Circle and triangle. Okay, so do you guys have some ideas on how we're going to find it? Yeah, Brandon?
Basically find the area of the triangle and then the area of the circle and then subtract.
Okay, so now we're going to subtract them. Okay, yep, that's exactly right. So the total area of the shaded region is going to equal the area of the triangle minus the area, and this shape is half of a circle. Okay, so minus the area of half of the circle. Okay, so the first thing that we'll do is find the area of the triangle. All right, and then Kaylee, what's our formula to find the area of a triangle?
1/2 base times height.
Good. And can you tell me what the base and height are?
The base would be 9 feet, and the height be 18.
So the 9 is going to be for the circle,
Oh.
right? So let's look at it maybe like this, right? If it was positioned like this, would that be easier?
The height would be 8. No, the base would be 18 feet, and the height would be 26.
Yep, and honestly, even if you did the base is 26 and the height is 18, that would be fine too. Because I could position it like this, and the height would look like it's 18, and then the base would be 26. Okay, so because it is a right triangle, your base and your height are interchangeable. So 26 times 18. Okay, so then half of 26 is 13. 13 times 18 is going to give you what? 234. Good. Just gonna write this here. All right, and then the next thing we'll do is the area of the half circle. Okay, so Luke, what's the equation for the area of a circle?
Pi r squared.
Yep, so if it's a half circle, what is it going to be?
Pi r squared minus 2.
Good. Okay, so the area of the half circle is going to be pi r squared divided by 2. Okay, and then Maddie H., can you tell me what my radius is going to be? That? Okay, so let's look and see what we have. What do they give us about the circle? Say it again. Yep, and then that's and what did they give you? 9, which is the diameter, right? So if they give you the diameter is 9, okay, then your radius is going to be half of that, which is your 4.5. Okay, so then we are going to do pi times 4.5 squared. And then we're going to divide that whole thing by 2. Okay, so the first thing I would do is my 4.5 squared. I'd have 20.25 pi over 2. So if I divide 20.25 by 2, I get 10.125 pi. And I'm going to leave that for now. Right? And then I'll calculate the rounded answer once I go to my last step. Okay, so then the area of the shaded region, which I will call SR, shaded region, is the area of the triangle minus the area of half of the circle. And the area of the triangle we got is 234. And we got 10.125 pi. Okay, so I will do 234 minus 10.125 times pi. Okay, and this still says to round to the nearest tenth. So this will be 202.2. And then the units are going to be feet squared. Okay, so are you guys remembering to put your units on for everything here? All right, questions for me on that? Okay, so here is the shaded region for B. So the shaded region is everything except for what? The trapezoid, which means when you find the area of the shaded region, what are you going to have to find first? What are you going to have to find first to subtract the area of the trapezoid? Area of the circle, right? So you're going to take the area of the circle and subtract the area of the trapezoid. Okay, so I'm going to give you a few minutes now so that you can calculate the area of the circle and the area of the trapezoid and then subtract. Okay, and then I'm just going to walk around and help you if you need it. did. Okay, I've noticed that some of you guys are not writing your work out. Okay, and I really think it's going to help you when you come to the test. Remember your steps if you start writing those out more. Okay, so make sure you're thinking about why you're doing that. So your area of the circle was 100 pi. The area of the trapezoid was 128. So then when you subtract 100 pi minus 128, you got 186.15. But remember, the direction said to round to what? Then yours 10. So then that 5 is going to put that up to a 2. And then your unit is going to be centimeters squared. Okay, so then here is your homework. I don't. Do you know what page is that? Page 609. 609.